This is Mike with AskTractorMike.com, and with me today is Josh from Rhino and my cousin C.R. And we've been involved in a pretty long process to evaluate different cutters in the field. And Rhino has been nice enough to loan us a flail mower, a finish mower, and a brush hog, a rotary cutter, to compare in the field. And that's what we've been doing on one of the hottest days of the year. And what we did really two tests. We took grass that had been mowed fairly recently that needed mowing again, like your yard needs mowed. It was about ankle deep, and we mowed with all three machines there. And then we went to some that was knee deep, that hadn't been mowed in a while, and we mowed with all three machines there. And all three of us kind of have our own opinions, and I don't know if we're all going to agree or not. Josh is a rep for a company. He doesn't care which one you buy as long as you buy a Rhino. C.R. has just moved to the country and has not been around tractors that much, and he's trying to make a buying decision. So we've got kind of different ideas and attitudes here. Josh, let's start with you. What do you think about what we saw today? And right now we're standing in front of our ankle-deep flail cut.
I would tell you it's definitely, you can tell a difference in the type of mower based on the conditions we were in. The flail mower, as we're standing in here, did a great job with the ankle-high grass. It took it down. It left a very uniform cut. As you moved across these paths and you got into the finish mower definitely shined. It showed that once you've manicured a property and you continue to manicure it, it can keep a consistency, and it's going to be a very beautiful look. And then as you went over to the rotary side, it probably shined about as good as the flail mower, maybe not quite as well. But in the end, it was the application that each one of them was put in that gave them all a different end result.
And C.R., you're the guy that's trying to keep his place looking nice, and you want a pretty much close to a lawn look. We're not talking about going into brush with these machines. You wouldn't do that with a finish mower. But you have a pasture that's been a hay field that you want to keep looking nice. What did you think about in the ankle-deep stuff?
The flail mower did an awesome job. In the ankle-deep grass, makes a beautiful cut. The finish mower just as well. It did a great job. If you allow it to get a little bit higher, then it's not quite as good. But the rotary cutter that we tested, it did an awesome job in the higher grass.
Yeah, in the higher grass, really, I think you guys would agree, the finish mower really shined in the ankle-deep grass, but you took it into out-of-control grass, and it was a bad haircut.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its name. It's a finish mower. It is there to continually manicure and contain an operation that's already been done. When you stuck it into the thicker grass, the taller grass, it definitely left streaks. It wasn't near as nice as what the flail did. And the difference between the flail and the rotary cutter, they both did an excellent job, but I thought the flail, it distributed the grass better. It had a much more even mat of residue that was left. It's going to break down. You're not going to see it as long. It's going to dissipate. Whereas the rotary cutter, it definitely went through and it made an even cut. It just left more of a clumpier debris.
And would you agree with that, C.R.?
I would. And one thing also that comes to my mind regarding the flail mower is the fact that it can slide in behind the tractor, where you can get it out of the way of the wheels of the tractor, where they have compacted the grass, and then it tries to mow over it. And in doing so, that alleviated some of the grass that it might otherwise have left.
That's one observation I had with a flail mower. The weight of the flail mower seems to be more on the back tractor tires than either one of the other machines. So you had grass that was really getting kind of mashed down. And the time of year we're in, this is kind of a tough test. Spring would have been a better time to test it. But we had an offset flail, it used a hydraulic cylinder to move it out. And when we moved it out and kind of only had one tractor tire in the cut, it made a lot better cut.
Oh, it absolutely did, and it did as we've said, it did a beautiful job in cutting it, and it also went through the higher grass as well.
The brush hog, I think, did a decent job. I wonder, and you guys can tell me what your opinion is, standing off away from the field. Now, if you're walking in the field, you can tell a big difference, but if you're in your house and your field is 30 yards out, are you going to be able to tell where the rotary cutter went versus the others?
The difference that you will tell in the rotary versus the flail, if you can see behind us, no matter where we're at, you can see the striping. It gives you that golf course look. The rotary cutter is not going to do that, but where it shines above either one, even the finish mower, is the suction. It allows to get all that grass up because of the type of cutter it is, and it will make a nice manicured look. And looking across this at a distance, other than the striping, you really can't tell the difference.
Would you agree with that?
I would, and even though I may wish to keep a nice manicured field all the time as the goal, sometimes that might not always be possible, and so the rotary cutter is great for that application.
I think to kind of sum things up, to me, the flail mower almost didn't do as good a job when the grass wasn't as tall. If you wanted a lawn manicured look, and you had knee-deep grass, the flail would give you a manicured look. If you had ankle-deep grass, it actually probably didn't do quite as good. And sometimes I wonder, turbulence becomes an issue. You've got a lot of stuff going around, and it's trying to blow the crop over and then cut it. The finish mower in the ankle-deep grass did amazing. I love the looks of it. But really, as a compromise between the two, the rotary cutter brush hog, still my pick. What's your opinion?
Yeah, it definitely goes back to the application of each cutter. The suction that's created from any rotary type cutter, be a finish mower or the 7-foot rotary, in the shorter grass where the grass was more matted together, it was able to pick it up, and you had a longer, wider surface to bring that grass up and make that cut. Whereas in that flail, in the shorter grass, and it did a great job. We tried to keep them all about the same cut height, so it left the same mat when it was over. But the flail, because of the type of cut that it is, the thicker grass made it shine. It couldn't pick up the shorter grass as well.
Last question to CR, what are you going to buy?
Well, it might not be just a single one. Maybe it'll be a couple of different mowers, so that I can use them in different applications. There is some areas of the property that the rotary cutter will certainly come into play, more so than a finished mower. So probably 2 would be my wish.
All righty. Hey, I survive on web traffic. Appreciate you watching this video and these series of videos. I want to thank Rhino Ag for supplying us these machines to do this test. I've been wanting to do this forever, and even though it's one of the hottest days of the year, I've had a great time out here playing with equipment. It's always kind of fun, when that's your passion. But I survive on web traffic. I appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube channel and share this video with other tractor enthusiasts. And if you have questions or comments, put them below. I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching.